golden age of Hollywood was a period of glamour and legendary figures. Some actors stood out for their skill and sincere friendliness, even if the movie showed off these stars' abilities behind the scenes. A few celebrities were praised for their kindness, humility, and compassion toward their fans and co-workers in a field frequently associated with egos and rivalry. However, who were these performers? Come along as we examine the kindest, most adored performers from Hollywood's golden age, whose grace and compassion made a lasting impression on and off screen. Let's investigate the little-known tales of the stars who shone brightly from within. James Stewart. James Stewart was ranked as the third most significant actor in American cinema by the American Film Institute. Jimmy was a straightforward, brave, and good-hearted kid who was a boy next door both on and off the screen. During his lengthy and fruitful career, he appeared in several well-known Hollywood masterpieces, including Hitchcock classics like Rear Window and Vertigo, Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life, and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Stewart had nominations for 5 Academy Awards, notably for his roles as Elwood P. Dowd, an alcoholic who makes pals with an imaginary enormous rabbit in Harvey, and attorney Paul Bigler in the courtroom drama Anatomy of a Murder. Many historians believe his win in the Philadelphia Story in 1940 was retaliation for his previous year's loss for his outstanding performance in Mr. Smith. Throughout the 1980s, he continued scoring intriguing roles in TV and movies because his organic acting style never went out of vogue. President Bill Clinton referred to him as a national treasure after he passed away in 1997 at the age of 89. Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck was the epitome of the good guy on screen. Honorable, courageous, and fearless. He frequently portrayed heroes who could not remain motionless in the face of injustice, such as the lawyer Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird in 1962, a part he created. Despite pursuing a medical degree, Peck quickly realized he had a knack for acting, and Hollywood was the ideal venue to display it. With the release of The Keys of the Kingdom in 1944, he shot to fame. Shortly thereafter, he was offered a leading role in Alfred Hitchcock's Spellbound, which he accepted with gratitude. Having starred in several high-profile westerns like Duel in the Sun and The Gunfighter, he was also skilled in the genre. He played the romantic lead in Audrey Hepburn's debut feature, the now-famous Roman Holiday. Peck veered into darker endeavors in the 1960s, such as the war thriller The Guns of Navarone and the original Cape Fear. When he passed away in 2003 at the age of 87, he worked regularly for the remainder of his career and considered playing Grandpa Joe in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake. Carrie Grant. Many people consider British-born Carrie Grant the quintessential Hollywood Golden Age actor. As he was known before becoming famous, Archie Leach could easily portray both comedy and drama. Suspicion, Notorious, North by Northwest, and To Catch a Thief are 4 of Hitchcock's greatest films, and timeless masterpieces like The Philadelphia Story, His Girl Friday, and An Affair to Remember all showcase his range and striking good looks. During his illustrious career, he received 2 competitive Oscar nominations, one for the 1941 melodrama starring Penny Serenade and Irene Dunn, and another 3 years later for None But the Lonely Heart, in which he portrayed a Cockney vagabond dealing with family issues. Colleagues in the audience admired him for his distinct blend of virility and refinement and his gentlemanly demeanor. After becoming the father of his sole daughter, Jennifer, Grant retired at 62. An honorary Oscar was given to him in 1970. William Powell. Although he began his career in silent films, William Powell's path to fame was paved with the invention of sound. For the part of Nick Charles in the Thin Man film series, his rich and stage-trained voice was ideal. He and Myrna Loy collaborated on 6 of their 14 films in the upscale mystery comedies. Aside from the detective tale, Many people consider their performance in the romantic comedy Libeled Lady in 1936 their best movie. The actress and Powell were engaged, and it was reported that her untimely death the following year saddened him. Spencer Tracy and Jean Harlow also starred. In the 6 Oscar-nominated comedy My Man Godfrey, Powell collaborated with screwball queen Carole Lombard, another off-screen lover, and received Powell's second Best Oscar nomination. His third and final one would be for the 1947 movie Life with Father, directed by Michael Curtiz. Powell decided to retire early, and his final performance was in the critically praised war drama Mr. Roberts in 1955, co-starring with Henry Fonda, Jack Lemmon, and James Cagney. Danny Kaye. Danny Kaye's humanitarian zeal was equal to his genius as a comedy performer. Known for his humorous timing in movies like White Christmas and The Court Jester, he gained popularity for his ability to make people laugh with his slapstick acts and oddball sense of humor. Beyond the jokes, though, Kaye was well known for his outstanding work with UNICEF. He was the first famous person appointed as an official ambassador for the group, and he visited more than 65 countries to increase awareness for children's difficulties. Kaye's commitment to UNICEF went beyond simple marketing. He traveled to war-torn regions to raise awareness of the plight of children and raised millions of dollars for the organization. Beyond his charitable endeavors, he was well known for making everyone smile by telling jokes and doing spontaneous acts for coworkers and fans. Kaye was a unique personality in Hollywood because of his playful demeanor and profound compassion, which mixed comedy with a dedication to improving the world. Audrey Hepburn. The success of Audrey Hepburn's Roman Holiday was nothing short of spectacular. Hepburn enthralled audiences with her inherent beauty and charm while portraying Princess Anne, a protected royal who lives like a commoner. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her portrayal, an incredible accomplishment for someone new to Hollywood. Hepburn's grace, composure, and distinct beauty made her one of the most adored actresses ever. Her portrayal of the eccentric and fashionable socialite in Breakfast at Tiffany's, which became an enduring symbol of classic film, further solidified her reputation as a Hollywood legend. Hepburn's off-screen presence was equally as adored as her acting career. She was well known for her humanitarian efforts, particularly with UNICEF, where she spent many final years assisting underprivileged children worldwide. It's interesting to note how Hepburn's early life under Nazi rule during World War II shaped her strong sense of empathy and dedication to charity. Hepburn maintained her modesty and her commitment to giving back despite her notoriety. One of Hollywood's most admired individuals, she leaves a lasting legacy through her films and extraordinary generosity and commitment to humanitarian causes. Fred Astaire. There is no denying Fred Astaire's status as one of the best dancers in movie history. His roles in iconic films like Royal Wedding, Swing Time, and Top Hat transformed the cinematic musical. Astaire, who famously said, "I just put my feet in the air and move them around," was known for his perfectionism and would practice for days to ensure every step was perfect. However, despite his fame, Astaire was a humble and compassionate person. He was unassuming, and once said he didn't know why his dance was such a big deal. His on-screen chemistry and success were always attributed to his dance partners, especially Ginger Rogers. Off-screen, Astaire was renowned for his professionalism, showing the same respect to all team members, whether they were behind-the-scenes workers or A-list celebrities. Less well-known is the fact that Astaire was also a loving father who discreetly left Hollywood to raise his kids following the death of his wife. Everyone who worked with him was forever changed by his grace, both on the dance floor and in life. Mary Pickford. Known lovingly as America's sweetheart, Mary Pickford was a formidable force behind the scenes and one of the most well-liked stars of the silent film era. Pickford co-founded United Artists with Charlie Chaplin, D.W. Griffith, and Douglas Fairbanks, granting her creative control over her films during a time when women were frequently marginalized. This audacious move made her one of the most important people in early Hollywood. Pickford was well known for her charity endeavors, in addition to her acting and economic savvy. She was among the first well-known celebrities to endorse Liberty bonds during World War I, helping to raise millions of dollars for the cause. She co-founded the Motion Picture Relief Fund to aid those in need, since she was devoted to supporting her fellow actors. Pickford's kindness was evident even in her private life, as she regularly welcomed friends and struggling actors into her house. Even though she eventually stopped performing, her legacy as a trailblazing woman in cinema and her giving nature endured, inspiring succeeding generations of artists. Jack Benny. Despite being well known for his frugal demeanor on his radio and television shows, Jack Benny was anything but. Benny was a comic genius who became famous during the golden age of radio thanks to his deadpan delivery and impeccable comic timing. Nevertheless, his colleagues were well aware of his kindness in real life. Stars like Frank Sinatra and George Burns were given early opportunities by Benny, who was well known for nurturing fresh talent. Furthermore, he entertained troops overseas during World War II and was a dedicated supporter of charities, especially Jewish organizations. An intriguing truth about Benny is that although he frequently played the violin poorly as part of his comedy act, he was a talented musician who frequently played for charitable causes. Offstage, Benny was a kind friend and family guy who was always friendly and approachable to fans and coworkers. He was one of Hollywood's most adored characters because of his humility and kindness, the antithesis of his frugal nature. Julie Andrews. Julie Andrews is a cherished icon thanks to her enchanted performances in movies like Mary Poppins and The Sound of Music. Still, her modesty and kindness have won over her co-stars, admirers, and crew members. Throughout her career, Andrews maintained her groundedness despite her early fame. Her grace, even in a cutthroat industry, was demonstrated when she publicly thanked the producers of My Fair Lady, a role she didn't get to reprise in the film adaptation, for making it all possible after she won an Oscar for her performance in Mary Poppins. Andrews was well known off-screen for having a strong sense of duty to her coworkers. She frequently provided stories and songs to the workers and kids on the Sound of Music set, ensuring everybody felt welcome and encouraged. Beyond her movie career, Andrews has written several children's books and donated to numerous educational charities to support children's literacy. Far beyond her charisma on television, she is a genuine gem in Hollywood because of her professionalism, friendliness, and commitment to having a positive influence. Carole Lombard. In movies like My Man Godfrey and To Be or Not to Be, Carole Lombard, frequently called the Queen of Screwball Comedy, captivated audiences with her incisive humor and contagious enthusiasm. In addition to her acting career, she was well known off-screen for her quick wit, charity, and grounded demeanor. Lombard was renowned for her generosity to her workers and fellow actors. She made everyone feel valued and appreciated by regularly hosting parties for the cast and staff. Lombard became one of Hollywood's most ardent supporters of selling war bonds after she poured herself into the war effort when World War II broke out. At the time, she accomplished the fantastic achievement of raising almost $2 million in a single event. While returning from one of these war bond rallies, Lombard tragically perished in a plane crash, ending her life. Her reputation as a talented actress and a generous humanitarian endures despite her untimely passing. Lombard's marriage to Clark Gable, whose relationship became one of Hollywood's most well-known, is an intriguing truth about her. Lombard's legacy lives on because of her remarkable performances and giving nature. Irene Dunn. Known as the First Lady of Hollywood, Irene Dunn was renowned for her grace, charisma, and multifaceted roles in movies such as Love Affair and The Awful Truth. Dunn's reluctance to be typecast, her ability to play dramatic and humorous roles with equal skill, set her apart from many of her contemporaries. Off-screen, Dunn was a deeply religious woman and a devoted philanthropist. She supported Catholic causes and worked with the United Nations and American Red Cross, among other philanthropic organizations. Intriguingly, Dunn was so well-liked outside of Hollywood that President Dwight D. Eisenhower even considered her for a political post. Dunn maintained her modesty in the face of success and was well known for her generosity, constantly going above and beyond to support people in the business. She fervently supported up-and-coming actresses, helping them develop their careers. As a performer and a person, Dunn was one of the most admired people in Hollywood because of her grace, kindness, and commitment to philanthropy. David Niven. One of the most adored actors from Hollywood's golden age, David Niven, had a refined manner and a certain English charm. Niven was well known for his parts in movies like Separate Tables, for which he received an Oscar, and Around the World in 80 Days. He exuded charisma when acting. His friendliness, humor, and wit made him a favorite among co-workers off-screen. During World War II, Niven was a lieutenant colonel in the British Army and returned to Hollywood as a hero. His life was as fascinating as his movies. Niven's narrative talent was one of his most endearing traits, inspiring him to write multiple best-selling novels about his time in Hollywood. Even though he was well-known, Niven never allowed his success to get to him. He frequently assisted his fellow performers backstage and was a devoted friend and supporter of them. Because of his poise and sense of humor, Niven was the ideal host for the Academy Awards, where his sharp wit became well-known. Known as one of the nicest men in Hollywood, Niven was generally respected for his sincere, kind personality and acting skills. Jack Lemmon. In addition to his comedic genius in movies like Some Like It Hot and The Apartment, Jack Lemmon was a talented, serious actor who excelled in films like Missing and The China Syndrome. Lemmon's generosity and humility off-screen complemented his charisma on-screen. Even though he achieved extraordinary success, he was seen as being grounded and friendly. Lemmon acknowledged that filmmaking was a team effort and thanked his directors, crew, and co-stars. Beyond his acting prowess, Lemmon strongly desired to guide aspiring actors and encourage those just beginning their careers. Off-screen, he was best friends with actor Walter Matthau, whose work with him on several films, notably The Odd Couple, led to one of Hollywood's most well-known on-screen collaborations. Lemmon was highly respected in the profession for his commitment to work and sincere concern for others. In addition to his lifelong love of music, he frequently played the piano on set in between takes. Lemmon is renowned in Hollywood for his kindness, genuineness, and legacy as a mentor and giving actor lives on. Debbie Reynolds. The adored Singin' in the Rain star, Debbie Reynolds, enchanted audiences with her bright smile, upbeat performances, and grounded demeanor. She was just as vivacious and friendly off-screen as the role she played. Reynolds' extraordinary devotion to her fans was well known. She would frequently remain for hours after an event to sign autographs or speak with followers. She was very friendly to her fellow performers. Reynolds consoled Elizabeth Taylor after her husband, Mike Todd, died in a plane crash, even though Taylor had previously slept with Reynolds' ex-husband, Eddie Fisher. Reynolds gained notoriety for her forbearance and tenacity. Reynolds had a strong interest in conserving Hollywood's past in addition to being an actor. She attempted to create a museum for her renowned collection of cinema memorabilia, which is among the largest in the world. Despite having to sell the collection due to financial difficulties, she was widely admired for her attempts to preserve the golden age of cinema. Throughout her life, Reynolds was committed to helping children's charities and raising awareness of mental health issues. Her kindness, compassion, and fortitude in the face of adversity made her one of Hollywood's most adored celebrities. Richard Chamberlain. After becoming well known for playing the sexy Dr. Kildare in the 1960s television series, Richard Chamberlain enthralled viewers with his powerful portrayal in The Thornbirds. Behind his notoriety, Chamberlain was renowned for being kind and modest. His co-workers said he was quiet yet incredibly kind, always willing to listen or give advice. Chamberlain's commitment to his work was impressive. He took on complex parts that helped him develop as an actor, such as his standout appearances in Shogun and The Man in the Iron Mask. Chamberlain maintained his modesty and friendliness despite his success. He never sought attention for himself and frequently credited his directors and co-stars for his accomplishments. Chamberlain's empathy was not limited to his colleagues. Long before it was common in Hollywood, he was well known for supporting humanitarian causes, especially those about LGBTQ+ rights. Chamberlain's concerns for others was sincere, and he subtly became an advocate for greater equality and tolerance in the entertainment world, despite spending a large portion of his career keeping his troubles private. In addition to being a well-respected actor, he was also adored by both fans and peers for his professionalism, politeness, and humility. Dean Martin. Known as the King of Cool, Dean Martin was well known for his effortless charisma, silky voice, and easygoing demeanor as a solo artist and member of the Rat Pack. His gentle demeanor off-camera complemented his trademark wit and effortless elegance on film. Martin was well known for his devotion to his fellow Rat Pack members, including Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. Martin was renownedly modest despite his extravagant persona, favoring intimate get-togethers above the opulence of Hollywood's elite parties. Martin's renowned on-screen, drunken image was primarily a performance. In real life, he was far more restrained and disciplined, frequently replacing alcohol on stage with apple juice. In addition, Martin was a devoted father who kept tight relationships with his extended family and showered his kids with affection. He subtly backed many humanitarian projects, especially those that help veterans and children. As one of the kindest and most sincere celebrities of his day, Martin gained popularity in Hollywood thanks to his kindness, generosity, and personable demeanor. John Gilggood. One of the most renowned performers of his generation, John Gilggood was a titan in the theater and movie industries, famous for his Oscar-winning performance in Arthur and brilliant Shakespearean portrayals. Gilggood's character and friendliness for other actors matched his talent. Despite being recognized as one of the best classical actors, Gilggood never allowed his reputation to overshadow him. He was well known for encouraging new performers to follow their trajectories and sharing his extensive understanding of the art form. Gilggood's candor about his hardships was an intriguing feature of his life, especially during a time when it was risky to be out gay in the entertainment business. Gilggood strongly supported authenticity despite the social obstacles he encountered, opening the path for upcoming actors. A raconteur and scholar offstage, Gilggood was renowned for his biting humor and clever storytelling. He left a lasting impression on the performing community long after his death because of his modesty and unwavering commitment to the theater, which won him the respect and affection of his contemporaries. Peter Finch. Peter Finch was a talented and kind person, best known for his stirring performance in Network, for which he received a posthumous Academy Award. Despite his decades-long acting career, which included standout roles in movies like Sunday Bloody Sunday and The Nun Story, Finch's off-screen persona made his co-workers admire him the most. Finch was well known for his honesty and grounded demeanor. He was always friendly and giving, always making extra efforts to help up-and-coming actors. Finch's commitment to social concerns was an intriguing facet of his life. Especially in Australia, where he spent a large portion of his early career, he used his position to promote causes like workers' rights and racial equality. Finch used his fame to raise awareness of significant social and political issues and was unafraid to voice his opinions. He was renowned for maintaining devoted relations with people who supported him during his travels. Finch's sincere kindness and courage to stand up for what he believed in changed the film industry and those who knew him personally. Ricardo Montalban. In addition to being a gifted actor, Ricardo Montalban paved the way for Latino artists in Hollywood with his legendary portrayal of Mr. Rourke in Fantasy Island. Montalban battled for more excellent representation and more complex depictions of his culture during a period when Latinos were frequently reduced to cliched stereotypes. To support Latino actors and provide them with greater possibilities in the profession, he established the Nosotros Foundation. Montalban has a reputation for being courteous and kind off-screen. He was a real gentleman who showed respect to everyone including his co-stars and the staff. Additionally, Montalban was very active in philanthropic endeavors, especially helping those with impairments. Montalban became an advocate for disability rights after suffering a severe back accident that left him largely paralyzed. He's contributed his voice and influence to several causes. Later in life, Montalban encountered physical difficulties, but he persisted in his job and motivated others around him with his fortitude and upbeat outlook. Hollywood and others continue to cherish his reputation as a trailblazing actor and empathetic humanitarian. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon